down here in the space shuttle. I'm your boy Adrian AKD.
Stubbs, how y'all doing?
What's going on with y'all? Hey, guess what? Hey, you want to tell them? You want to tell them what time it is?
You
man?
the intro master, intro
Come
king.
on, man. You already know what time it is.
Guest.
We got a guest in the house today.
And if you into looking for houses this year, I want to be tuned into this one.
I'm for real because today I gotta do him right. Today we got brother Carlos in the house. Carlos, he began his customer service journey over 20 years ago at his uncle Rufus Bartell's Simply Casual Clothing Store, located on the corner of 7 Mile in Wyoming on Detroit's northwest side. His uncle, under his guidance, Carlos gained valuable insight into service and customer care. He eventually took over the business and expanded by opening several women's boutiques. Sounds fire. As a business, he slowed down the industry and shifted online. Carlos transitioned into a residential fixture business, which he still operates to this day. Additionally, he's driven by a long-standing passion for real estate. He pursued and became a licensed real estate agent. Man, come on now. His slogan right here says, clients don't buy products, they buy you. Today, we want to give a round of applause to the man, to the brother, to the entrepreneur, CB, Carlos Bartell. Come on, let's give it up for him. I hope I did you right there, my brother.
That's what's up.
I hope I did you right there, my man.
Yeah,
I tried.
Yeah, you did it.
Man, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the space shuttle, man.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm glad to be here.
Man, we know you took time out of your busy schedule because we already know we've been on phone calls. You wasn't in the state at the time, but we still managed to make this happen.
Yes, we did.
Because when we were talking off air, we know you got a story to tell beyond this too.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
You want to get into that real quick?
What story? It depends what you're talking about.
Let's start from day one. How you? I know I mentioned how you got started, but I want to hear in your words how you got started.
Oh well, like I say, I've been in the customer service. I don't say sales. I've been in customer service for over 20 years.
Okay.
Started on 7 Mile, Wyoming. Simply Casual. My uncle Rufus. Shout out to you, Unc.
Salute.
Yeah, he taught me the game. It was rough in the beginning.
You said roofing?
Rufus.
That's what I thought you said. Okay, I'm about to say.
Rufus, my fault. Yeah, so it was rough in the beginning. You know, he was on me, and he was like, either I'm gonna drive you to get better, or I'm gonna drive you to quit.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never quit. You know, I wanted to, but I ain't never quit. I just kept going. And he taught me a lot. You know, he taught me like how to service clients. You know what I mean? Because you sell something to somebody, you might not get them again because you might have came off salesy. But if you build a relationship, and you obviously want to make it organic. You know what I mean? To make it even that much better, you got them for life. You know what I mean? So I learned, from that. He taught me to always put clients' names, get all their information. So that way, once I got their information, I got them in my database. So if you come in the store and say you want some jeans, I don't gotta try to remember like, oh, he wants some jeans, or you come in, you got my jeans. I'm like, oh, I forgot. So they help you be organized, and you can send an email or text message to all your clients. And if you got, I don't know, for the sake of numbers, 1,000 people in your database, 10 gonna show up, spend $100, $1,000. You know what I mean? So that's I got a lot from that experience.
Now I remember you were talking about it was tough in the beginning. How tough was it?
It was tough, man. Like I was so in that business you deal with a lot of different people, from pastors, blue collar, white collar, promoters, street people, everything, you know what I mean? And it was just so overwhelming, like trying to cater to everybody. And to get to the point that I get certain clients like that come in, I may get a little nervous because I'm not used to, certain things, and I might forget to give them their credit card, stuff like that. But, he taught me a whole lot, and it shaped me. I'm a beast now, you know what I mean? But back then, like it was tough, but yeah, I'm good now.
Man, oh man, I already know the sales business it's not for everybody.
No, it ain't.
Man, what?
You got to be a hustler. If you ain't no hustler, you might as well not even go do something else.
Does he still have his brick and mortar, his building?
Yeah, yep. He's still on, he on 7 Mile in Livernois.
The Avenue of Fashion right there has been a cornerstone for many years. People don't know that.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Especially for our people.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, I know you just said
Riots tore it up.
Yet, And speak on that for a minute. People don't know a lot about Detroit's history.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I wasn't born in, but the riots tore up a lot of businesses on Livernois. It was a lot of black businesses and just businesses in general. You know what I mean? And it was like a desert for a long time. And I hate to say this, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to be biased, but my Uncle Rufus, like, he was one of the first ones to go back on Livernois. And then I got family with so many businesses on Livernois, from Cuzzo's Chicken and Waffles.
That's your peoples?
Yeah.
Oh,
Cuzzo's
man.
Chicken and Waffles, Times Square Clothing Store. It's so many, like, you know, and, you know, they own a lot of real estate over there too. So, and, you know, so I definitely like to say Unc kind of led the torch on getting Livernois back, you know, to where it is right now.
Okay, we got to give a salute to Uncle
Hey,
Rufus.
just so
man.
y'all
Hey.
people know, whenever y'all property get damaged in a riot, the insurance companies don't pay out because it was labeled a riot. So y'all need to stop doing that to y'all own communities. But if you do more research, it wasn't really us damaging it.
Land
I'll
grab.
say that.
Land grab.
Yep.
But going back to one of the questions you said, like, as far as, so my Uncle Al, so he's on Livernois too. He has a suit clothing store called Times Square Custom Clothing.
Mm-hmm.
The way he make a client feel, I learned a lot from him too, because I was up under him for a second. Like, a client would come out, you know, and he'd be like, "Oh, he the coldest in the city. Oh, he about to shut the city down tonight," and they'd feel good. And he being really him, you know what I mean? Some people looking at him like, "Man, what's this dude talking about?" He like, but like he's like, he was him, and he'd get them excited, you know what I mean? And they feel good about themselves, and he built that relationship with them, and like, to this day, man, he do so good with custom suits and suits just in general, you know what I'm saying?
Do any of your people do hats? Because I'm trying to get into a hat collection.
Yeah,
Not just fitteds, all type of hats.
yeah. So he does. I saw the same uncle. He has a hat store. I forget the name of it.
Is it on Livernois?
It's on Livernois.
Is it that one next to Bucharest Grill?
No, it's between like Outer Drive and Livernois. No, Outer Drive and 7 Mile.
Okay. I think because I have been to a hat store over there in that area before.
Yeah.
And they sell all type of Kango hats, stuff like that.
Yeah, he got all types of hats, top hats, Bossolinis,
Yeah, I need all
gangster
that.
hats. He got everything.
I don't want to say I've been in there before. I just,
You might have.
yeah. But you know what? That Avenue of Fashion, please go to the Avenue of Fashion. That's our people down there. Please go support, look out. They even got a cigar lounge over there.
They got art galleries.
Art galleries, they do. You know, in the summertime, you know, they have different type of live events out there. So please go check it out.
Check it out.
Make sure y'all check out Jerk at Night too. It's a new Jamaican restaurant.
Oh yeah, it's right there by the
Yeah.
that grocery store.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, I was up there 2 weeks ago.
Yep, good.
Because they got 2 doors. One door you can go dine in. The other one is just carry out.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was just up there. Hey, we might have to go.
Hey, we
man.
got to go. Hey,
I'm telling you, bro. I
Hey.
think they had jerk taco. I had some type of jerk tacos.
Tacos, yeah, they got a.
It was good. It was good.
And they got one now that Nigerian food truck there too.
Yeah. On the Nile, I
On
think
the
it's
Nile,
called.
yeah.
Something like
Okay,
that.
yeah. Cross, yeah.
If you want to get some jollof rice, go check them out. So let me.
Expand y'all palettes, people. Just try new stuff. If you ain't never had a hat, buy a hat. You never wore a suit. A lot of y'all brothers out here sag y'all pants and ain't never wore a suit. Get a suit. Just try it.
Can I speak on one more thing about the Avenue of Fashion?
Go ahead.
They also have, like you said, they got an art store there, and we've been in there before.
Yeah, we've been in there. You remember when we was first setting up this studio, we wanted to buy some pieces, but it was rough back then.
Yeah. The struggle is real.
Well, for us, at least. Not for them. They was doing good.
Yeah, that art store is unique because that's the first time I actually saw a different type of unique art.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw that Black Panther one. You know which one? It's in my house right
I
now.
remember the Biggie Smalls one and the Tupac. You remember we was gonna buy that? They was both on the same.
Yeah, that one, and also the one with all the comedians in the barbershop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, hey, y'all know what I'm talking about. Classic.
And they also give they sell the originals or the copies, but they also give you a little certificate too, so you know it's authentic.
Absolutely.
I
I love art, man. I want to get more into art.
Art is
On
that
it,
art?
making it yourself or just purchasing?
Just purchasing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to get into art. Like, art,
Well,
art is dope.
Well, you know, you a man with many talents. That could definitely be another notch in your belt right there. But let me also ask you this: how did that mold you into getting into real estate?
Okay, so store had closed and he moved. So when he was on 7 Mile, Wyoming, he actually moved to Livernois where he is now. At that particular time, I started right before we closed. I started doing like real estate things. Like I was investing in people's closing costs. So if people say you got a home, you got the credit, you know, you got the income, but you might not have cash, I will invest like, you know, some thousands into their closing costs, and then when the deal closed, the seller had cut me a check, which you weren't supposed to be doing this, but the seller had cut me a check for the double that amount. So if I invest 2,000, I get like 4,000 at closing.
And you said that's not okay. Because I was about to ask, how do I get in that? But if it's not, if it's shunned upon,
I don't.
whatever.
You know what? I don't know. That was years ago. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
And I was younger at the time, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we live and learn. Don't judge us. Don't lock us up for that.
Yeah. And then I end up buying a couple properties. And like I say again, I was young. I didn't really know what I was doing.
How difficult was it for you to get licensed? Or what's the steps?
You go to class, and then once you go to class, you got to take a final in class. Once you pass your final, then you take the state exam, and then once you do the state exam, you get licensed. You go up under a brokerage, and you kind of go from there.
So you know what? Because I hear so many stories about that exam. I heard it's difficult. You got to do different things. What are some of the things you got to prepare yourself to take?
You have to. So what helped me was this app. I actually failed that exam. I had to retake it. There's an app that really helped me. So a client that I was dealing with in my fixture business, she's an agent, and I was asking her about the test, and she was like, no, Los, you should download this app. Like, you'll really it'll really help you out. You'll like it. It'll break the test down. It's like 700 questions. So
700 questions.
no, this is just it's only 150 questions on the exam.
Okay.
But it's 700 different questions on the whole exam.
Gotcha.
So different scenarios. So what I did was I started just studying it, and then like taking like 50 to 75 test quizzes at a time. And when I started getting like 85% on them, I said, okay, I'm ready to do it.
Okay.
So I ended up passing. But the first time I took it, like I failed, but I only failed by like 5 points. You know what I mean? I should have went and took it again, but I waited around, messed around, and I ended up taking it again.
Now, if you fail it a certain amount of times, are you disqualified from ever taking it? Is it one of those type of situations?
I don't know.
You didn't want to find out.
I didn't want to find out either.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For real.
What made you want to get into real estate?
So me having those experiences, seeing that, okay, I can monetize this. So something about this real estate, like, okay, I can kind of monetize this. So like I said, I got family that's, you know, in the real estate doing all types of things. So I got a cousin, my cousin Ron, shout out to you, Ron. He was like, man, you should just get into real estate, man. He like, you be an agent. I was like, maybe. I'm like, I don't know. He said, man, you should go ahead and do that. So I'm thinking like, well, I'm already in a retail fixture business. So I'm dealing with a lot of investors on a day-to-day basis. Got family and friends, you know, so that's in commercial real estate developers and residential flippers and that type of. So I was like, well, maybe I should go ahead and do it. But I did it so I can actually learn the business of real estate from an investor standpoint. But me being who I am, I can't hoard nothing in. Like, if I got some information, I got to get it out. You know what I'm saying? I got to help some people. You know,
5%er mentality.
That's serious.
Yeah. So now I'm learning a whole lot about real estate from the inside now versus from the outside in. I'm learning from the inside out now. So I end up what I end up doing. So I just end up like thinking to myself like, well, shoot, I want to really help people. And I just started like, I do got a license, so I just started like helping people. You know what I mean? And then that's kind of my journey. You know what I mean? Like, I just like helping people. I'm the type of person that'll help you, assist you with buying a house or listing your house.
Right.
And then I'm like the biggest fan. I go in the stands and clap for you. You know what I mean? That's just who I am.
And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I'm glad that you are doing that, because there's a lot of people out here when it comes to home ownership that don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, even when it comes to owning a house or flipping a house, what's the first step?
Yeah.
Nobody want to go out there and getting a bad loan and, you know, end up putting more into the house than what it's really worth.
Right. And, you know, the thing is that the first thing people think about when it comes to real estate is I can't afford it. without knowing anything. Like they don't know how much it costs. They don't know how much they pre-approved for. They don't even know how much but that's the first thing they say. So it's so many like, even though interest rates are a little high right now, it's so many different programs out here like with Mistas,
NACA, I think is one or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they help you get a low interest rate and everything, and it's mainly geared for our people. I want to say.
Yeah. Mistas is one of them. Detroit had a down payment assistance program. And
I remember that one.
they supposed to be bringing it back in.
That one was they went up to 30,000. I can't think of the name of the program.
25,000.
25,000,
Yeah.
something like that.
It's supposed to be coming back in June, but we'll see. Yeah. But and it just me, I'm just like learning like the just importance of credit. Like a lot of people don't realize how important credit is. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are so cash heavy and got so much money, but they can't afford certain things because they don't have the income to prove it, or they don't have the credit. And you can't everything can't just be bought with a bag of money. You know.
Also,
what I mean?
A debt to income ratio. I had to learn that myself.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? You making $20,000 a month, and your debt is $19,000 a month.
Now, do you just? I'm sorry, were you done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Now, do you just flip houses, or do you like rent them out and things of that nature?
Yeah, I rent them out. I'm an agent. Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't mind getting on this topic, evictions, not just for you, just in general, your thoughts on the experiences with it.
I haven't had I don't have no really thoughts or opinions on evictions. I really don't deal with that too much.
Okay, that's good. So you do the background check, you make sure they're good, and I'm assuming you.
Well, I'm not a property manager. You know.
Okay.
So that's more property manager.
Okay,
so if you own a home, I would suggest you get a property manager so you can screen the right tenant. I wouldn't go with your homeboy, and say, here, you can live here. How much money you make? Like, no, do a proper screening. No evictions. Decent credit at least. You know what I mean? How long you been on your job? Like all that is important because ultimately, if you got a mortgage on that house, if that tenant don't pay that mortgage, you gotta pay it. And if you don't have enough, if you can't leverage, you don't have enough money coming in to afford that, the house gone. So.
Because I got to mention this too, since we're on the topic. When it comes to bad tenants, I'm quite sure we're seeing all type of videos of when you have to evict a tenant and they end up doing something bad to the property.
Yeah. So listen, I got a story about that.
Speak on it.
So this is back in the day, like I say, this is what made me go to get a real estate license. So I had a house, and my property manager, he wasn't right. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. The property manager is like the middleman between you and the tenant. So I guess something happened with the tenant. So I asked my property manager, like, what's going on? And he was like, she's this. And obviously, I don't want to talk to the tenant. It's two sides of the story, but I don't want to talk to the tenant. Like, he's like, property, that's my shield. So I go in my house one day. I opened the back door. So when you open the back door, the stairs leading right to the basement. I look down, it's 4 feet of water in my basement. Like, I'm like,
you went red and forgot.
I went red. I don't know. It was so long. I just remember that vividly. I don't remember what I did. You know what I mean? I don't know if they somehow they took the lien off. I forget what it was, a lien for sure, but I forget exactly what I did at the time.
And stories like that is something that people are feared to do when it comes to renting out to certain people.
Yeah.
Now, let me also ask you this: when it comes to renting out to certain people as well, what do you think about discriminatory? People do discriminatory thing because you got certain people that don't want to rent to you because of your color.
It ain't right, man. Money green. If they can afford it and they got the credentials, man, let them. I see as an agent, I see definitely the discrimination is definitely real in real estate. I had a client one time. I had put an offering on the property. I ain't gonna say what city. It wasn't Detroit, but I put an offer in, and I guess the house is still on the market. This house been on the market for 100 years. So obviously, when your house is on the market that long, the price is too high. A lot of sellers don't really want to realize that, but that's just what it is. It's not the value that you see. It's not that valuable. So the house is on the market for 100 years. 100 days, and it's still on the market right now. But I submitted an offer, and she thought it was disrespectful. She thought I lowballed her, and she kind of made the comment, like the agent made a comment saying that, um, I think they had cameras at the house saying that, well, if they're serious about buying and you know and they want a house 4 and 5 kids, this is the rate. This is how much it costs. Or, you know,
4 or 5 kids. What you trying to say?
So how do you know that my client? I disclose no information about my client. How do you know that my client even have any kids? So you're either Googling or you looking on the camera.
Yes.
And that's
I also
that's
got.
discriminatory.
Speaking of that, I got to ask you this question while it's still in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm hearing, let's just say a client getting ready to buy your house. And, you know, of course, you know, you still living in it. You still got pictures up.
Yeah.
I've been told sometimes the real estate, you know, person will tell that person, take down all your pictures, flip them around. Is that really true?
Yeah,
Put
I've
up
heard that.
pictures of other races.
Yeah.
Yes, I just told a client that a week ago. I said, if you got any, we're getting ready to list your property. If you have any pictures of the family, take it down. You can have art, you can have things like that, but just pictures, you don't want to see no color going into a home.
That's wild.
Unfortunately.
That's wild.
It's this guy, I want to say 2 years ago. He's real good in real estate. He's actually suing, I want to say it's Tennessee, over that. Mm-hmm. Like he had some Caucasian friends. He had them put pictures up. Then he asked them. He checked the people like, "Yo, why did y'all value my house when the appraiser did the walkthrough with me at $200,000? My white friends do it go up $500,000."
Yeah.
And so he got all the evidence. I need to do more research, see what happened with that case, but I remember that.
Yeah, I've never dealt with a blowback because of that. And I was just taught that. So I just told my clients, you know, we don't want any issues. Just, you know, do X, Y, and Z, you know, and they listen, they do it.
So what's the main district you look for? Boston Edison or here in Detroit at least?
Yeah. So I'm an agent, so I'm in Detroit, in the Metro Detroit. So whatever my client needs, you know, whether they want to be in Detroit, Farmington, West Bloomfield, Redford, I'm servicing everywhere.
Have you ever been fortunate enough to get a house in Grosse Pointe?
Grosse Pointe? No, not Grosse Pointe. Okay. I haven't been that way yet.
All right.
Now, let me also ask you this, back to the question about getting your feet wet. What does a person first need to do if they want to either flip a house or just buy a house for themselves?
If you want to buy a house for yourself, are you cash, or you got cash, or you need financing?
Let's go with cash.
If you want to flip it yourself, or you want to like a mortgage.
Well, let's just say I want to build it up so I can sell it, you know, like a flip.
You want to flip?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to do the comps and make sure that the home that you buy has room to make a profit after it's repaired. So if a property, I don't know, go for $150 and it costs $100 and it costs $40,000 to repair it, it's almost like, you know,
10,000 profit. That's nothing.
Yeah. You might as well just have a doorknob, just hold, you know what I mean, and rent it out. And that, you know, if that's the case.
You ever dealt with multi-units? Duplexes or
yeah,
4 units?
Yeah. 2 families, yeah. And I that's what I would tell anybody that's single, whether they got 1 kid or no kids. I would house hack.
What is that? What?
So house hack is you pretty much living in 1 unit and renting out the other unit, and your tenant is pretty much paying most of your rent.
I know somebody who do
I heard
that.
about it, yeah.
I know a guy, he bought a 4 unit and he's in one. He got 3 people in the other ones.
Yeah. That's what I would tell anybody like to do. Like, just if it's you, like you don't want to rent, you know, because you're not building no equity. You're not really getting a bunch of tax breaks. Your value isn't, you know, you can't repair the house like because it's somebody else's house. So I would always tell people like, okay, house hack, because essentially you're getting 2 houses for the price of 1. Like, you know, your entry is for the price of 1. So if you say, for instance, if you got, I don't know, you see a home for $200,000 and it's a multifamily and it's fully renovated already, you go FHA, which is 3.5% down. And your closing costs, you know, you good. And in some cases, now you can stop me if you don't understand some of these words. In some cases, you can get the seller to pay your closing costs. So essentially, you come to the deal with 7,000. You know what I mean? And shoot, you got two homes. You living in one and you rent out the other one. And in some cases, you got mixtures, you got down payment assistance programs. They may be even paying your down payment. So you got concessions and you got down payment assistance. So you essentially you getting a home. We did a deal 2 weeks ago. Someone got a home and they only spent like $900, something like that.
Only 900.
Yeah, because the closing they had concessions and they had down payment assistance.
Wow. See, this is the type of game people don't know.
They had to pay for their appraisal. The house had to appraise out, obviously, and they had to pay for their inspection, which I would tell anybody always get an inspection to make sure there's nothing wrong with the house. Nothing crazy. Right?
I did hear after an agent sells a house, say if they discover something in the house like mold, that a lot of buyers can come back and sue the agent. Is that true? Stuff like that?
So you have to have a seller's. So anytime you sell your home, you have to have a seller's disclosure. So you have to disclose anything that's within the property. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't disclose that, and you can get in trouble as a seller for that.
But now, what if you were also unaware of it? Like, I looked through everything and I read everything. You also didn't know, but they discovered it on their watch or when they got
the
it.
seller didn't know, nor the buyer.
The buyer didn't know. The seller, when he had the home, he found out shortly after. But you as the seller didn't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that worked.
Yeah, because I feel like they have to prove that you knew.
You always have a seller's disclosure, like saying what you know is wrong with the property. So so here we go. Right, I'm gonna run down the process. You find a home you like. We submit an offer. The offer get accepted. What you do is you have to leave an earnest money deposit, and this is what a lot of people don't know when it comes to buying homes. You always leave an earnest money deposit. Second, you do an inspection. Third, you do an appraisal. So a lot of people say, I'm ready to buy a home, and they don't have any type of money saved up, or they don't have no lines of credit. Like they don't have like nothing. They think they're going to get a home.
No assets.
Yeah. So before you do anything, before you get maybe a down payment assistance or anything, you still have to have money for your earnest money deposit, which is the deposit to the seller, letting them know, hey, we want this home, we really like it. We're gonna give you 1% of the value. So if it's $200,000, your earnest money deposit be like $2,000, and then maybe a week later we say we hold an inspection. Inspection costs $500, and then once you have your inspection, if you don't like the results of the inspection, it's mold or just something just really bad, you can out the contract, you get your $2,000 back, and then you look for the next house. Now you don't get your inspection money back because you paid for
You already paid for it.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then once you have your inspection, so hold on. So going back to the inspection, what inspection does is tells you everything that's ugly about the house. It's not gonna tell you how beautiful the cabinet is. It's not meant for that. So as a buyer, you don't want to be discouraged by that.
Right.
You're looking for major things.
Foundation, crack.
Yeah, stuff like that. So it's gonna be a long list of things like the door handle was hanging, or you know what I mean, little stuff like that. You know what I mean? But none of that is major. So, but as long as it's like not major, you should definitely keep going. So after you doing your inspection, you have your appraisal, and once you have your appraisal, if the house does not appraise for what you agreed to buy, what the offer was for, then you can renegotiate. Like, hey, I know you got this house listed for $200. The appraisal came back at $175. I'm giving you $175, or we don't have no deal.
Right.
If they say no deal, all right, thank you. Take your $2,000, your earnest money deposit, and keep looking. Or if they say, okay, yeah, we can do it, we go $175. Or we say, how about you go $180? Okay, well, only appraised for $175. I really like this house. Okay, let's do it. You know what I mean? You do it like that.
No, I do got a story to share about what you just said, because I've been through all that process myself. I was getting ready to buy a house. But the one thing, like you said, during the inspection, I had to pay to get the inspection done. The situation that caused red flags for me was that when he went under the crawl space and he wanted the foundation. He realized one of the woods was sort of rotting out because where I was getting ready to buy the house it's on the floodplain.
Okay.
And that caused a lot of the wood, to mold and sometimes rot out.
Yeah.
Right.
So at the time, I already put down a deposit down. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, would this be a good investment knowing sooner or later that I might have to get the foundation redone? So what happened was, like you said, the lines of credit, my lines of credit didn't come back right. So I ended up, getting my deposit back.
Yeah.
And that situation is a real situation because that inspection really tells you a lot. So
yeah, it does.
I would tell anybody,
Tell everybody, get an inspection, and you should always get an inspection. Unless you just really savvy and you don't really need an inspection, but I still tell everybody get an inspection. Period. Like you should always do that.
Now, what else people don't know about buying a house that people needs to know besides getting an inspection?
I suggest if you're a first time home buyer to get a warranty. If it's your first time buying a home, obviously it's certain things that you don't know. You're not an expert, you know what I mean? And you might have exhausted funds trying to actually get the home. So I encourage everybody, you can pay it monthly.
Have the copper pipes in it.
Yeah.
They got like the PVC or the little plastic.
Well, you know what that's about.
I mean, it's about saving money, but I feel like for one with the copper, that makes the water antibacterial, antifungal. It's a good thing. So do you feel like that lowers or raises the value of houses when you walk around and you don't see no copper in it?
No.
I feel like it should though.
That stopped Pookie and Ray Ray from breaking in the house, getting that copper.
You're right, but the alternate is, but now what the water you guys consume or the water that sits in the pipes till the faucet cut on, that's building up bacteria, in my opinion.
So you saying from a safety
From
standpoint?
a safety standpoint and health, like this water gonna be going on your skin in the showers or while you doing dishes. This water. That's the way. I mean, you're right though.
Yeah.
When the people break in, they moved out. We in there.
Yeah.
They be in there the same night.
Which is surprising to me because I have heard stories people breaking in as soon as they get everything fixed up. All of a sudden they strip it down.
Yeah,
They coming to get that furnace and hot water tank.
I've seen people working on houses.
A lot of listings I have, if they're in certain areas, I put on the listing furnace and hot water tank will be installed at closing. Even though it's already in the home, I don't take it. I don't have it on the system. I mean, as far as on the pictures, I don't have it in the pictures.
In case of,
And I don't, because people want to break in, and then I don't want my seller to have to spend another $5,000 to $10,000 on. That's $10,000 less. He already have to pay me a commission. You know what I mean? So it's
Now I got another question. Sometimes when I drive by houses, I might see a sign up there, 21st Century or whoever the realtor is.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still able to sell that house, or did they somehow lock it down to where no, we're the only ones who can sell this house?
More than likely, they the only ones who can sell that house. But if I have a buyer, we can do a deal.
What, and they get a commission off of it or something?
Yeah, they get a commission. So the way it'll work, they get a commission, and then they'll split half. Since I'm bringing the buyer, they'll just split half the commission with me.
Is that beneficial, or would you not even want to be in that?
Oh no, that's beneficial. I mean, that's fair. I feel like.
So have you ever just locked down some houses? Like, these, and what's are there steps to locking down a house? Like, do you got to put down a down payment with the city or the county to these houses mine only?
What do you mean as far as
being able to put your flag on the lawn? Hey, this is my realty company.
Right. This is what it is. I'm a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And you guys are sellers, right? And I want to sell your house, so I talk to you, give you a consultation, and we come up with a price. I then put my sign on the yard and I list it, and then you guys have to pay me a commission based on the selling price.
So basically, your cut come out of after the deal is done.
Yeah, after it's done. Yep. Once it's sold, you pay me my commission, and then I split my commission with my buyer.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, going back to
buyer agent, whoever bought me the buyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I just want to know, let's just say it comes back like the buyer really wants to buy the house, but it's only one problem. This got to be done. That got to be done. Do you go back to the buyer and ask them, because you fixed that, or,
Yeah, so, okay, I'm glad you asked that. That was a good question. So, going back to that inspection, You can negotiate like, hey, this is what's going on with the house, and you give them an inspection report. Can you fix this? Either yes or like yay or nay. If he say no, then like I said, you can get your money, you can keep going. Now they can give you concessions, right? They can say, okay, this is what we'll do. We bring $3,000 to the closing table, so that's $3,000 less you got to spend, so you can fix whatever you need to fix. You can do it like that, or yeah, that's pretty much.
But or they could fix it and alter the price. Yeah, fix it, but that price go up. So, 'cause I remember my mom when she was buying a house, the guy said, "I'll change this, but I'm gonna need $3,000 more on that closing."
Well, the seller, you can't really do that because you kind of locked into it. You can't like once you agree to a certain price, you know what I mean. You can't just up it because those expenses are kind of like are valid whether you knew it or not. You know what I mean? Because you're locked into a contract with this buyer now at this point. So
Well,
you can't,
after you sign it,
so you're already locked into it. You know what I mean? So you can't do it from that standpoint. At that point, either you can give them a couple dollars off, or help them with their closing costs, or we can just say no deal, and then you can move, go on about your business.
Now, as an agent, how do you feel about people who do land contracts? Because y'all don't get included in land contracts at all.
Yeah, we do.
Y'all do?
I don't typically do land contracts.
Oh, I thought land contracts is literally just between the owner and whoever just say, hey, I want to buy your house, and they do a contract without the realtors, the agents, without. I thought that's how land contracts worked.
Yeah, you can broker land contracts. I just never done it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really into it. I don't really encourage people to do land contracts. It's high interest and high down payments. Like, just work and get your credit together and just, you know what I'm saying? Do it that way. Yeah. Like, I can't stress that enough. Like, having credit is so important because you may run out of money, but the bank can never run out of money. Right. You know what I mean? So just, you know what I'm saying, work and just, work on your credit, you got a 1999 paying $500 a month, and I got a 2025 paying the same amount. That's gonna make sense.
And you brought up a good point. Like, the bank got money.
Yeah.
You don't have the bank kind of money.
Yeah.
Why not use their money while you can constantly, do it that way? It just only makes sense.
You may run out of money, but the bank can never run out of money.
Right. So and on top of that, let's say you do get that 2025 or that 1995 or whatever. As soon as you drive that car out the lot, it's going to depreciate in value.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people don't know.
Yes, absolutely.
But I kind of want to change the topic a little bit. I want to talk about taxes. Taxes. So I'm pretty sure we all know in the city of Detroit, it was a situation where you had people with money coming in and taking over certain type of tenants' houses, even though while they were living there because they was behind on taxes.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
So it sound like what you're saying is like a tax lien.
Yeah, tax lien, right.
Yeah.
They'll go online and look at what house, is behind on taxes, and that's up for the auction, and they'll bid on that house, and right underneath the tenant's nose. And the tenant's got a certain amount of time to get out of there before the new owners come and take over.
Oh, so the tenant's okay, so yeah. I mean, that's just unfortunate, man. You got people that pay landlords and they still losing the money. Like, you got a lot of that type of stuff going on. It's just, the landlord, they the law of the land. At the end of the day, that's why it's important to have ownership. So I sympathize for them. It's kind of unfortunate. It's kind of messed up. You know what I mean? But that's just the way it is. I hopefully I don't ever be in a position like that. You know what I'm saying? I got sympathy for anybody in a position like that. I don't think it's right, but however, if this is my property, you know what I mean? I give you the opportunity to work something out, and if we can't work it out, I got to do what I got to do.
I know life ain't fair, but do you think that's fair, like, for people to do that, man? Like,
life ain't fair, but do you think that's
I'm
fair?
just saying, like, damn, I live here. Like, I know I'm behind.
Yeah, but hey, what's the button? It's a cruel. Is this?
Man.
Oh, damn.
No.
Are you paying rent?
I mean, hey, this is it right here. Hold on.
It's an evil world we live in.
It's a show evil world, but damn, like, I don't know, because it's a sticky situation with that one. It's hard to talk about it.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's unfortunate.
I sympathize for anybody that's less fortunate. You know what I mean? Or they in a situation where they gotta just up and leave. You know, they comfort. They may have family. They have kids. So I sympathize anybody in that position. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
So when it comes to buying a house, what are the taxes portions come in on that when you first get ready to buy one?
what do you mean?
Because I know when you buy the house, like in my situation, when I bought the house, on one portion I had my mortgage, another portion I had my house insurance, another portion I had where I was going to pay my tax. How much taxes is included in everything?
Oh, so it just depends on the area, you know, the tax rate. So you pretty much put it in escrow and include it with your mortgage. So your mortgage may be $800, but with taxes and insurance, you may be like $1,100.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's how that worked.
And could you explain not to cut you off, but the difference between fixed rates and adjusted?
Fixed rate this is your rate over the course of 30 years. I mean, obviously, unless you refinance. Adjusted rate it goes up and down based on the interest rates, you know, at the particular time.
Is there a better one between the two?
I'm not gonna say.
Or is there a third option that the public don't know about? Hey, they keep information from us, y'all.
Yeah. I guess, you know, that's getting into somebody's finances was what works best for them. You know what I mean? Me personally, I like a fixed rate, you know what I mean? But with interest rates being so high, you know, you may be like, well, interest rates ain't gonna get no higher than this. It'll only get lower, but you just never know. You know what I mean? So I just like the fixed rate, and then you can always refinance for a better rate. You know what I mean? Once things change, or you pay a certain amount of money, you can always refinance. So
Now, I did want to know: Are you? I doubt you are, but are you involved at all in Section 8, like getting somebody in Section 8 or any agents?
No, that's
what I
yeah.
figured.
I'm just an agent. I don't.
Yeah, I figured that. I didn't know, like, if somebody trying to get a house and be like, I can't help you, but man, for what I seen, you got to go there. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I do help people with leases. Like if they, they're not ready to buy and they want to lease, they already have Section 8, you know what I mean? I just give the landlord their credentials and then the landlord can decide from there. But yeah.
I want to ask you about property value. Mm-hmm. What causes a property value to go up and what causes it to go down?
I guess the demand in the area, the development around the area can cause the value to go up, and then go down is obviously crime, nothing's thriving, you know what I mean? Things like that cause the property value to go down.
Because like you said, with land development, I was told that if they're doing certain type of construction in the area, that will likely cause the property value to go up. And also buying a house by a school as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. They building parks. They doing things like for the kids. They developing. They jobs is in the area. Like if it's thriving and from that way, and they developing and they constantly building, then the value it'll go up.
You mind if I talk about this topic real quick?
Go for it.
Now you know how they rebuild down in Midtown area, down in Wayne State and all that. Do you know like the time and effort and the plans they came up with to build that certain part of downtown? Because that wasn't always like that. People don't know that. Midtown wasn't always that nice.
I'm not understanding the question.
No, what I'm saying is, like, during that particular time, people don't really know how rough it was down in Midtown at a certain time.
Oh, yeah. Before the Caesars.
Yeah, before
they
the
had
Caesars.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, especially 2nd Street.
That's what I'm saying.
Man,
Yeah.
2nd Street, bro, I used to go up there. Never mind. It was
Nowadays,
rough.
Nowadays you may see a Caucasian walking their dog. You know what I mean? And
that wouldn't have happened years ago. Yeah.
In the roughest, known to be roughest area.
I think it's a shelter on 2nd Street, man. That thing used to be packed with what I thought was fiends.
Oh, 2nd Street.
You talking about Cass Corridor?
Yeah, Cass. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Are you talking about Cots? The name of the place.
You talking about?
No, I'm talking about the street. It's a street you could go up. It's kind of. It was just like, I don't know what the people look rough in that area. Because I like to cruise. I don't really like to highway. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but they really rebuild. They did their thing down there. You see people walking all types of night and all that. I never thought I'd see that part of Midtown fixed up like that.
Yeah, it's nice down there. It's a lot to do down there too. Downtown, midtown, it's a lot to do. A lot of restaurants too.
Now let me ask you this: based on today's economy, how hard it is to sell a house nowadays? Or sell any type of property?
It's actually it's just starting to slow up a little bit, but man, during COVID and like the interest rates were so low, like you had so many offers, everybody was paying over asking. The house cost 200, man, they was 225, 230, 250, just like easy, yeah. I mean, and it's sitting because it's I don't know, it's starting to be a lot of homes in Detroit. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing about it, and I don't know, like people kind of for some reason, for some preconceived notion, they kind of shy away from Detroit, which I don't understand. Like you really get a bang for your buck in Detroit.
They're not brave.
You get good square footage. You know what I mean? You get a really nice house, and it don't cost that much. You will go for a home that's $200,000 that's really fully renovated. You would go somewhere else. That same home would be worth almost $500,000,
Which is wild.
because you're paying for pretty much for a location. I mean, I guess some people say things like education and the police department. So obviously, I mean, I have to sympathize.
Detroit has a reputation.
Now you don't think we'll ever get back into another 2008, do you?
No, I don't think that's coming
Okay,
back.
just saying.
I mean,
because a lot of people
anything is possible, but not to that. People be like, I'm waiting on 2008 when the prices get cheap again, so I could buy a house. And then you look up in 2050, a house that was 700,000. So, yeah.
But if another pandemic happened, that could drop the market.
Yeah.
It's fickle at the end of the day.
I don't think it'd be that bad. Like that was
let's hope not.
That was a bank bailout. Like it can get there. I definitely would never wanted to get there, but it's possible.
because that was a bad time if anybody remembers.
Yeah.
You had doctors working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
I doubt that, but
No,
I understand what you're saying.
That really happened.
Oh, okay.
No, that for real. That really happened.
So that's
Don't
crazy.
live above your means.
So going back to like the clothing store days. So that's when I had the opportunity to actually like I say, I sat under my uncle. That's when I had an opportunity to actually invest. The owner of the particular store came to us, because he wanted to do other things, and he was like, "Hey, you could take over the store. It's bad. The economy is kind of bad. We're kind of behind on rent. You guys can provide for yourself." And me and my man Greg. So that's the backstory of how I met Ken. Ken is my man.
Salute,
100
salute,
grand.
salute.
Shout out to you, Ken.
Hey, we got to give him a hand clap.
So at that time, so he was like, "Hey, me and Greg, we like, listen, you got a couple thousand, I got a few thousand. Let's put our money together and just buy our own clothes. We already got the clientele. We just keep up with the rent." And shoot, we thought it was supposed to last. And that was supposed to last maybe 3 months, man. We ended up being there 2 years. I mean, obviously the mall is gone now. That was Northland Mall. It's closed.
Man, it breaks my heart.
What store?
It was called Mosi.
Where was it located?
It was like
In
around
Northland.
Northland.
I know, but like where?
It was a women's boutique. It was right across from Foot Locker.
Yeah, I've been, Well, I walked past it. I did go in there one time because Maddie walked in there, and I was let me try. But
Yeah, and that's when I met Greg. I mean, we were some wild boys back then.
Northland Mall, boy.
Yeah.
You bring the tear to my eye, man.
I instantly got attracted to Ken Paul's. He was fly. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because we all like to dress. We like the girls. You know what I mean? And he was fly. And I'm like, okay, he fly, he cool. We hanging out. And then he was 100. You know what I'm saying? Super stand up. You know what I mean? I said, oh man, this is my man. I can rock out with him.
Hey,
And
he definitely got that energy.
he got that energy, man. And unfortunately, I lost him for 13 years, man. But he hit the ground running, man. Without him, it wouldn't be none of this right now.
Facts.
So yeah, that's my guy.
Hey, man, you know what? And you know what you just said about Northland Mall? it just when that particular property right there, do you think it could have been rehabilitated back to at least a mall at least? Or they could have done something different with it, man?
They should have just made it like for entrepreneurs, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Change the not have like, cause they still wanted like certain rental amounts. I don't know the overhead that obviously it take for a mall, but they should just let a lot of people that was business owner just not really a flea market, but just people whatever you got, whatever your product, just come in and sell.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I think they were looking for they wanted corporate, you know what I mean, and corporate was done with them. But I think they.
But I feel like malls are kind of becoming extinct though.
But that mall had too much history, though. That's what I'm saying.
It had history, but look at the one that was on the east side. Malls are becoming extinct. Even Fairlane is possibly on its last leg.
Online, that's what I'm saying. Online came, so that's how I actually got into the fixture business, because I'm like, well, shoot, I don't have to rent this whole space. I can buy product. I don't have to worry about having a certain amount of product to fill, this store to be able to make money. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, so sorry about that.
You can swim for the mic there if you want to get comfortable.
Yeah. So but yeah.
Man, okay.
Let me also ask you this. When it comes to different type of mortgage companies, I know different type of mortgage companies got in trouble for their loans as well. I want to say Goldman Sachs at one time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was one of them companies that actually got caught and fined because they were doing illegal tactics to their customers and a customer base. As difficult as it is to keep up with these damn payments, what do you think the punishment should be for corporate loan companies doing that stuff to their
Consumer
clients?
Or clients,
I'm no judge. I'm no jury. They definitely should be a fine, though. You know what I mean?
When you white collar, it be a slap on the wrist, man.
But still, the everyday hardworking person has enough stuff they got to go through in order just to survive, and they come and do some mess like that.
I'm saying, but I always think about Flint. Ain't nobody been punished to this day. Even 2 years ago they had that chemical spill in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
that's
got
another
punished
one.
for it? No, so certain things I hate to
I think
say
there
it.
was one here recently, like a couple years ago.
Yeah, I just hate to say it when certain things
The
happen.
governor
to
should got in
certain
trouble for that Flint situation
Yeah.
because he knew.
Yeah.
He definitely knew.
Yeah.
A lot of people died from we ain't gonna talk about that, but I'm just saying, things like that kind of irk my nerves because they know what they're doing is wrong to everyday people.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Hey, have you ever sold a house with a bunker in it?
A bunker.
Yeah, like you know what a bunker is. Them bomb-proof extra basements and things like that.
I haven't. Not that I know of. I don't.
What's something unique you've seen in the house before though?
Unique.
Like I know, like a jacuzzi right in the front door or something.
Or a man cave.
Something unique. I'm not gonna say. I see so many houses. I'm trying to think what really stood out. Like what really stand out.
Statue or something. Like what the heck?
I can't think. I'm drawing the blank. I can't think of nothing.
I know you got something you just can't think right now.
I see so many properties. By far the best looking properties that I see is in the city of Detroit.
Okay.
What up, though?
Yeah.
East side.
Come on, man.
East side got some stuff. East side got some stuff.
They got some hidden
when
gems.
I go to the right, I'm like, whoa, y'all doing it like this?
They got some hidden gems.
East. So like,
East
I gotta
and
know
West.
who got the
East
better.
and West.
East, West, North End, and South.
I'm gonna say this: if you want to get more house for the price, you go east.
Go
For
east.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I really don't know that. Like properties are definitely less expensive on the east side than the west side.
I didn't even know that.
Sure.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
But as far as visual, what did I ask earlier? As far as better type of house and quality, you still think it's West got East beat?
Man, it's a case by case, man. I don't know.
But I do got a question for you.
Yeah.
They told me the 2 rooms that attracts the client to the house, that actually sells the house.
Kitchen and bath.
Yes. So that's the true thing right there.
Yeah. I mean, it's bedroom spaces. I mean, it's a room with a light. You know what I'm saying? And people look at closet space and to see if they bed can fit in there. But for the most part, it's kitchen and bathroom.
And why is that? Do you think?
Cause that's probably what costs the most as far as and reparations as far as inside of the house.
People, just so y'all know, if your kitchen is connected to the bathroom, that means your house was built before 1950. After 1950, they wasn't allowed to do that no more.
Hey,
It's supposed to be at least like a hallway or something separating it. Because even my granddad, before he passed, his house was like that. Like straight from the kitchen, there's a door right to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I was like,
like
this
wow,
house-
that's crazy behavior.
I tell everybody, like, you know what I'm saying, if you in sales or you in the service, always just get your clients' numbers and emails, because no matter what business is, once you have a database of of people, you send something out, you know what I'm saying? It's a numbers game, you know what I mean? Whether it's a party, you're selling a product, whatever it is, like it's numbers, you know what I'm saying? If you got 15,000 people, that's whatever that product is catered to 100 people, you did good.
Now you a man of vast knowledge, just in more than one thing. Do you do any type of mentoring?
No. So my friends, okay, I'm gonna say this. I don't, but my friends, like one of my homeboys, we was out. He was like, "Man, you a motivator. You need to motivate." And I've coached. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've coached basketball and football, right? And when I coach football, I'm not an X's and O's type of guy, but I am a motivator. And like, so it was a situation where these kids. So my son, he was playing football, and the coach didn't show up. Like he said, no, he said he was there working out with them. He said, you know what, I can't do this. He's supposed to be the coach. I like to golf on Sundays. So I'm looking, I'm like, damn, how he just gonna just leave the kids like that? They got a game in like 20 minutes.
Right.
And I'm looking, I'm the only guy there. Me and this other guy, and it's all women. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh, I can't do the kids like this. I like, man, I coach, you know what I'm saying, for the day. It was just for the day. So I coached, you know what I'm saying, we won. Said, oh, good job, man. Thanks, man. We appreciate you. X, Y, Z. So they wanted me to coach the next game. I'm like, whoa, hold on.
You got typecast now.
Yeah, I really didn't sign up for it, but I'm like, I do it, you know what I'm saying? Plus my son playing, like, yeah, I do it. So, we did it again and we won again. Man, so at that point they like, they didn't even know who I was. They like, we don't know who that team coach is, but they undefeated. You know what I mean? So when it got down to it, we end up having the whole season being undefeated. So everybody's like, man, this team came out of nowhere. They sucked last year, and but I think it was just me motivating them. So it got to the point that, so we ended up being in the championship game, and it was us and the team that won the past 2 years. And they playing us, and they was like, the coach talking stuff. He was like, he's like, this the real game right here. We gonna really see how good he is. Man, our team scored first. I went crazy. I ran out on the field. I got the point that up. I was like, yeah, the crowd got hyped. Like we in this. And they end up scoring. We end up tying. You know what I'm saying? The game ended in the tie. But yeah, and it was, I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? I really impacted those kids. Like, but it was God using me. Like, I'm not even gonna take no credit like that. But
He called you to the position.
he called me to the
though.
position,
That's
and I showed up, and I was,
So what the
we did our
coach, though,
thing.
the original coach was?
Oh, so I forgot to tell you. So let's rewind. So like the third game, I'm kind of late for practice. Here and there got them doing drills like you right here. This right. We 3-0. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, is he serious? And I'm getting mad. I'm like, oh no, don't try to come back now. It ain't about to happen like this. And then, I'm there, I'm letting him do what he do. Then he came, he talked to me. He's like, hey, man, this your team, man. I was just, helping him out, X, Y, Z, this, that, and the third. And it was cool. It was cool.
Where my button at? Hold on, I got to press my button.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
Kind of wrong though, man. Wait,
Ain't no kind of wrong. He wrong as hell for that.
Earlier, you said you like to golf on Sundays, or he liked to golf?
No, he said he liked to golf on Sunday.
Man,
We
bruh,
3-0. All of a sudden, he there with the team, training up and got them doing drills. And they looking good, too. Like I say, because he's an X and O guy. I'm just a motivator.
So he a deadbeat coach. That's what he is.
What's the name of that? What was the name of the team?
It was a flag football team.
Okay. It was Little League.
I don't forget the name. Yeah, they was like maybe like 10 or 11.
I think if one of them ever go pro, they might mention you. I feel like it's a possibility.
Yeah, that might be. That might be.
Shout out, man.
Because if
He
you
just-
motivate them like that, and you came out of nowhere with it, hey, that one of your callings.
Yeah. So I definitely want to be able to give back in that regard and just, like motivate and help, help the youth, because like I say, information that I get, like once I get it, I want to get it out there. I got to get it off my chest. So
Facts.
So do you remember any of the quotes or anything you were saying in these speeches? Because I know you most likely won it. I know you didn't just do no Iraqi speech.
I don't listen.
Like-
I don't know. It was just,
coming
it
out.
was just,
Oh,
yeah.
you was really being you.
I was
You
being
the
me. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, it wasn't no speeches or nothing. It was just, yeah.
Speaking of quotes, I'm interested to know where you found that quote. Clients don't buy products; they buy you.
I think I made it up.
You made that, okay?
Yeah, I think I made that up.
Because it's true. Because
Yeah,
you selling a piece of yourself to that person.
yeah, absolutely.
But let me also ask you this: what do you, when it comes to sales or real estate or anything in general that you know, what are some pointers or what is one thing that you will tell them to do? Is it mindset? Will it be learning different type of tactics? What would you tell them?
Consistency and persistency. That's what
Okay.
I tell anybody, because it's not like nothing happens overnight. You know what I'm saying? Anything worth having is a process. Like if you can obtain something very, very quick, you know what I'm saying? Chances are it's not gonna last long. You know what I mean? But when you build something from the mud, from the ground up, you know what I mean, and it's hard to lose that because you been through every emotion, like you really built it from the mud versus somebody just giving it to you and just handing it to you. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I learned that, from my one of my cousins, shout out to him, Baby Ray.
Salute.
He own Cuzzo's Chicken and Waffles, and he does Jeans Moet. And Jeans Moet, it's a party that's been in Detroit. I would say that's probably the longest party in Detroit history as
said
far as longevity.
Jeans Moet.
Jeans and Moet.
Jeans and Moet.
Is it always at the same venue or where is it?
It used to be. Well, lately it's been in Redford at a club called Privé, but it's been at the Garden Theater, the River Rock. It's been everywhere. You know
brought
what I
it
mean?
back with
Club
River Rock.
Network. You know what I mean?
So I know
back
this
in
is
the
a
day.
dumb question, but pretty much the dress code is jeans though.
Yeah, jeans, Moet, and a pocket full of money. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Cabaret vibes. I feel like, yeah.
When did they usually hold this event? Because I'm interested in going now.
Oh man, you got this twice a year. So the next one is in October.
Okay.
It's at
Cool.
Privé a nightclub in Redford.
Okay.
That's usually where it's at. It's usually on Thursdays. Past couple years, it's been on Saturdays. But just watching him as a promoter, just have that longevity and being persistent. Like and I would say he has partners obviously with it, him and Mo B, him and Mo Blackwell, and they brought on other partners. But doing it that long and being, it's just consistency. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like doing it from the early '90s all the way up until now. I don't think no promoter has been running a party that long
So
in
they had
Detroit
it
history.
since the early 90s?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Hey y'all, Jeans and Moet,
Jeans and
pull
Moet.
up, check it out. Please don't come with the drama. Just come to have fun and a good
have
time.
fun,
Dress
yeah.
your best.
With jeans and Moet.
Yep, James Moet.
And Cardi's, this is Detroit.
That's the
No.
thing. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah, but just seeing his persistence and his consistency, being who he is and his authentic self. Like,
Do you know on average what the tickets are?
I think it's maybe 50,
Okay.
100 at the door, and then you get booths and things like that. You know what I mean? So
Praise go up. Get them booths though.
yeah,
Booths gonna have you looking nice, man. Yeah, they gonna come up to you. You got a booth.
Yeah, you better have that money on deck. I tell you that now.
yeah.
Gotta come on, pocket full of money.
Yep. Shout out to Baby.
So, if somebody were to get in contact with you, what would they reach you at?
C Bartell Real Estate. That's my Instagram. Facebook is just regular Carlos Bartell. You can always reach out to me. Any questions that you need. It don't cost or nothing like that. I just want to help you. You know what I mean? You may not be ready for my service. But I still help you. Whatever you need. I like to help people. Like to see their family, help their family. I like to see people create and have the opportunity to build legacy, for the kids. So
Facts.
yeah,
So
I like growth.
Before we pull these questions, is there anybody you want to shout out? Because I feel like you know a lot of people. Is there anybody you just want to give your cousins, family,
Let me see.
realtors? I know your aunt.
Shout out to Miranda. She's the one who inspired me to be a realtor. Miranda Bartell. She's with National Realty.
Okay.
Shout out to the Fisher Group. Dave. That's the team I'm on with Keller Williams. Let me see. Shout out to Fancy, my cousin Nisha. She's an entrepreneur on my mom's side.
Salute.
Fancy Success, and just shout out to the whole Bartell family. We're gonna keep doing this, and shout out to the Thurman family as well.
Salute to everybody. Salute to everybody. Also, one more question I gotta ask you. I know you mentioned a lot of things that you're into. Do you have anything that outside of real estate that you like to do? Let's just say, I don't know, prepare somebody's taxes, or
No.
that you don't do that. You don't do no financial advisory, anything like that.
No, I don't.
You never thought about that?
No, I don't do
I
that.
thought you was gonna ask a hobby question. Like, what's your hobbies you talking about?
No, I'm talking about have you ever thought about being a financial advisor? Because I feel that energy from you.
Oh, really?
I do. I just
Okay, I
like
receive that.
like you know how to grow.
I am
money.
good with money though. So I will say this, like I do know how to hold, like, you know what I mean? I am, like, I don't. So you got to understand, like, so back in, like, when the recession came, I had all those houses I was telling y'all about. I went like broke, you know what I'm saying? So I lost a lot of money like doing that. I was just in over my head, and I was young. Like, I was spending a lot of money, just like I wasn't reinvesting, because I figured I was living like how the little scammers, like how they live. They know another scam has come, so I don't have to necessarily save my money. So with that, I feel like, okay, it's new houses. I can just get a new house and pull the money out and do this. But that type of stuff don't last forever, because you're not educating yourself, and you're not getting it from the mud. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So I like people who, and I respect people who get it out the mud. Like I love when I see people, when they build something small and they grow, and they don't. I'm not gonna say not have a handout. You know what I'm saying? Because we all need help to some degree. But when I see somebody stay the course, stay consistent, you know what I'm saying, really build it from the ground up, you know what I'm saying, I get a rush off that. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
talking about us right now.
Yeah, exactly, man. And y'all, and y'all gonna do it, man. Like, and y'all are doing it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna keep doing it.
Respect.
Like I say, Ken, that's my man. Like, anytime I've told him, I'll let him obviously tell his story, but whatever I ask him, like, he there. Same with him. He asked me to come on a podcast and do X, Y, Z. The podcast could have been in the driveway. You know what I'm saying? With an iPhone, I would have did it. You know what I mean? Because that's my guy. And I'm just that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I'm kind of humble.
Do you know of any investment groups right now? If somebody does want to probably invest in real estate or any type of business going on right now?
It's a lot of investment groups. But you know what? There's actually something Wednesday I want y'all to actually maybe come to. It's about funding.
Oh, depending on what time. Wednesday, that's my business
And
day.
I work afternoons.
Unsecured, yeah, it's in the afternoon.
But we'll still take it down, just in case we're free.
Yeah,
6 to 8, I'm in the class every Wednesday.
Well, if I show, what's the name of it? Just to put it out there.
I got it.
Well, we'll talk off here.
Yeah,
we'll talk off here.
Yeah.
But everybody invest your money. I'm telling y'all, that's one of the ways to financial freedom.
Money cannot sit. Money has to circulate.
It has to flow. If it sits, you hoarding money, that's illegal.
Yeah, I mean, you figure, man, if you put $1,000 in the shoebox, you know what I mean, and then go to that same shoebox 2 years later, that $1,000 is probably only worth $300. So, because the cost of living constantly
and inflation
goes up.
Yeah.
So money gotta, whether it's in stocks, t-shirts, businesses, houses, all that money gotta move. Just sitting on a bunch of money just to look at it, like, I mean,
I know you're not a financial investor. You mentioned that, but if you could recommend, he's not a financial investor on what to do. If you could recommend, beside real estate, what do you think would be a good place to put it?
Stocks.
Stocks.
For me, yeah.
What about crypto? What do you think about that?
I got some Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, I don't have enough crypto to really say. Like, I actually got some crypto back in 2000, and I heard about it, I think in 2010 or 11. I actually invested in crypto in like 2015 when it was like $5,000 or something like that. It's $100,000 now. You know what I mean? I wish I would have put way more than what I did, you know, but when I initially heard of crypto, I was like, God told, this was like in 2012. I was like, what is it? He's like, well, it's a digital currency. Like, okay, I mean, what do you mean? He said, well, it's not a real currency. I said, okay, yeah, you lost me. This sounds like something crazy.
I remember my brother told me when it was only $50, and again when it was $500.
Yeah.
And both times I had the money to buy 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I didn't even do it, and I regret it. I regret it.
Yeah.
Hey, you ain't the only one.
Because, I mean, you can't predict the future. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, like you said, that deterred you.
yeah, that
Wait,
determined. Yeah, but I actually went ahead and did it, you know what I'm saying, invested, you know, when it was like 5,000. That thing like 100,000 now. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think about people that fearful about spending money or investing money? Because a lot of people are scared to take a risk.
Well, if you fearful, don't complain about nothing in life. Just don't have no complaints and
I
just
like that.
yeah, just don't have no complaints and just, you know what I'm saying, just live your life and you know, and just be, I guess, content with like just getting by, or what do you call it? Inflation. Just be happy about inflation and things like that. I mean, I think a lot of people don't invest because they not educated and they're fearful. But I'll tell people, like, especially people that have jobs, right? If you got a job, you've been at this job for a certain amount of years, why not? If if you can invest in something like 1 week, you know what I'm saying, spend $1,000 in investments, and like you're getting a check next week. You know what I'm saying? If you lose that $1,000, so what? You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, a lot of things you're probably gonna lose a little bit of money in. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't necessarily know, but the only person who loses is the one who really don't try.
Oh, yeah.
Can I also ask you this? What do you think about? We spoke on this before, but what do you think about the karma of money? Money karma.
Money karma.
Basically, if you don't know what it is, a lot of people don't know what it is. Money karma is basically, you know, money is an energy, it's a current. And depending on what you put your money to or what you invest in, you will eventually get it back to you, and sometimes tenfold. Do you believe in that?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you reaping what you sow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You sowing a seed.
you sowing a seed. Yeah, and it's just like, I mean, that's called the law of reciprocity. Like, you reap what you sow, right? Like, even whatever, you know, everything that you guys do, right? You may not see the results instantly, you know what I mean? Like, but you looking up when you at that moment where you kind of like, well, maybe I need to do something else, or maybe you start seeing the fruits of your labor. You know what I'm saying? So that's the consistency and that persistence and that diligence. But yeah, you reap what you sow, man. If you a good person, you help people, and you a steward of your own money, you know what I mean? You're not gonna lose it. Like, you know what I mean? You might have to have slow moments because you're trying to build, you know what I mean? But you're not gonna necessarily lose it because you're a good steward of your money. Like, I'm not gonna go out, hang out, and I got a rent due, and I got all these bills, and I'm outside just, you know what I'm saying, buying bottles and spending $2,000 on bottles. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
Facts.
Yeah. And a lot of dudes, I'm gonna say this too, a lot of dudes gotta stop living for women too. You know what I mean?
You just angered a bunch of men. Well, y'all not even men. If you living for women out, y'all just males.
Yeah.
Y'all heard it, man. We didn't say anything.
Get your priorities in order, man. They gonna come to you. Don't chase them all day.
Would you like to expound on that, or do you want to leave it at that? It's up to you.
You just not as valuable as you can be until you focus on yourself and like really, because if you focus on like trying to appease somebody and make somebody else happy, you know what I'm saying? Ultimately, you're doing a disservice to yourself, and it still may not be enough for that person anyway that you're trying to appease and make be happy. So sometimes you just need to, you know what I'm saying, just focus on you, you know what I'm saying, and get everything together before you just try to, you know, focus on making somebody else, you know, happy.
I wish I had a button for that, man. I don't have the right button for that.
I do got. So what is a moment?
Listen, I had seen sorry to interrupt you. I had seen something on Instagram. It was saying that when a woman have a man, they save more money or something like that.
I know what you're
They
talking
I know
can
what
save more money. And then
when a man's out of a relationship, he saves money. When a woman's in a relationship, she saves money.
saves money. Yep.
It's truth to that. I don't care what anybody say.
But I'm not no advocate for not being in a
we-
relationship. But you just gotta,
So this is my final question, though. I just want to know how proud do you think your uncle is of you?
I think he proud. We talk all the time. He's definitely proud. I think my father proud. God rest his soul. You know what I mean? I wish he was here, to kind of see some of the things that I've been doing and, but yeah, I think people is really proud.
I'm proud, yeah.
I don't look for people to really. I just try to lock in and do what I do. I'm not looking for people to say they proud of me because if you're looking for accolades and things like that, like
Yeah. Well, I ain't saying for that. It's just, you was talking about your uncle to a degree took you under his wing, and anybody, if I take somebody under my wing, I'm gonna check in on them throughout their whole life. Like, okay, you're here, now you're there, and it's just a beautiful feeling to see.
Yeah,
the rose keep growing or the tree keep growing.
Yeah. He definitely tells me. Yeah.
Now, my final question for you, and this is really my final question. What's next for you? What do you want to do next?
Next, shoot, man, just more real estate from an investing side. Close more deals. I definitely want to get into the mentorship.
Okay.
Like what you were saying, I definitely want to get into the young men and women. Just trying to get them to believe in themselves.
That guy, I think you will be a very, like you said, with the football situation.
Yeah.
You could be a big pillar of guidance for a lot of young people, and a lot of young people don't have that.
Yeah. And absolutely. So yeah, those are some of the things that that's next for me.
Could you see a book in your future?
I've thought about it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know. Just like real estate, I don't know much about a book. You know what I mean? I know.
I'm sure you know people who.
Ken.
Ken.
He gave. We talked. He actually has me in one of his books. We talked, I gave him his blessing. He doing his thing, said, that'll be something I can kind of talk to Ken about. Because, because I can't, maybe when I started, I can't think of just writing certain stuff, but maybe as I started letting things out, I look up like this podcast, me talking, like, shoot, we've been on here, a couple hours now?
Feel like
maybe.
Feel like it.
Feel like
an hour or something like that. You know what I mean? Once you start talking and you diving into certain things, you don't know what can happen. So yeah,
I say
possibly.
if you journal every day.
Yeah.
At the end of a year, that's something.
Yeah.
That's a rough draft, if anything.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, we're ready to get to these questions.
Yeah. Let's pull these questions.
All right, everybody out there, this is your favorite part of the show. We're getting ready to pull these questions. So, wish us luck. Let's do it.
My nigga.
We'll start over here.
Say, in the last year, how have you grown? Damn, how have I grown? Oh, I got more locked in, at least with this podcast, because about a year ago this time is when we kind of started it.
Yeah.
Well, really start week after week doing it. But, yeah, that's about how I've grown. Like, I got more locked in, way less video games. And like you said, I'm not chasing women.
Yeah.
Man, I used to spend my free times video games and texting girls while I'm gaming. Whoever hit me up, okay. Press pause, go do something.
Women was that was mine.
Yeah, so yeah. I mean, women, of course, I'm always gonna be rocking with y'all, but
but you just not compartmentalize your time.
Yeah. So now, man, some days we be doing this podcast. I know I gotta edit a video, and women hit me up. I'm like, yo, I gotta edit, and they what? Yeah, and they see. I think they seeing a difference in me. Like, you ain't everything. I mean, I never treated y'all like. I'm running to you as soon as I get the text, but like now they just seeing like, oh man, he really just don't prioritize me. Yeah, it's different.
Would you like to go?
So my question is.
I know we all got to answer this.
Oh.
Yeah, we all got to answer.
Yeah, we all got to answer everybody's question.
Oh, so we'll read yours again.
In the last year, how have you grown?
How have I grown in the last year? I've become. So I got a year old. He like almost a year and a half. So I've been more intentional with life. You know what I'm saying? So everything I do kind of somewhat has a purpose now because I know I'm not living I'm living for him as well. You know what I mean? So that's just being more intentional. And me being more intentional has really, I've seen it really bless me in the fruits of my labor of being more intentional. So yeah.
Thanks. I'll say for myself, mindset. I'm shifting my mindset because the last part of last year, I'm technically currently in an uncomfortable position at work. But it has grown me to really realize, how much of a man I really am, how much of a man I've grown. Also to transform my mind into understanding, look, in order to get to where I gotta go, I gotta start thinking different. Yeah. I gotta start moving different. I gotta start adjusting certain parts of my life.
So did you feel like you was under a lot of pressure?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I was so used to doing one thing at my particular job. And then out of nowhere, okay, we need you over here.
See, pressure don't bust pipes. People don't realize that pressure tell you what you made of.
Exactly.
Yeah, hopefully it's diamonds.
I gotta share this quote one more time. I know I said it before, but are you familiar with Larry Elder? He's a Republican senator.
No.
He said, and I shared it on the show before, he said on the Breakfast Club that me and your mother raised you. And no matter how hard you work, no matter how good of a person you are, life gonna hit you with curveballs.
Yeah.
And how you respond to those curveballs shows me and your mother how much of a man you really are.
That's real.
I could have sworn you
Can't
worded
get no
it
realer
different
than
last
that.
time.
Yeah, that's real.
Quit hating on me, but yeah.
You worded it different last time.
Yeah,
Real.
quit hating on me. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
But so
All right, who got the next question?
you want to go?
My question is, what is a song you know all the words to?
All the words? A, B, C, D, E, F.
I don't have a song. I know like 90%. Like if I me personally, if I had to, I might know like 90% without just looking at it. You know what I'm saying? But just all the words.
All the words. I know verses, but a whole song?
Yeah.
I used to know this is how we do it a long time ago.
Oh, really?
I used to.
Montel?
Yeah, Montel Jordan.
Yeah, if it is a song, it's an R&B song. Most likely a Music Soul Child or a Maxwell song. I guarantee you. I just got to hear it though. Give me the instrumental and probably let them say 2 or 3 words, and I can rock out from there.
I'm not gonna lie. Where I'm at right now, even if I do know the song, I gotta sing along with the song in order for it to click.
Yeah.
That's the way I am right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that too.
Yeah.
Can I piggyback off something real quick?
Go ahead.
I just want to ask y'all a question. Like, what kind of music are y'all into? Speaking of
Conscious, I call it smooth rap or conscious rap. Like Lupe Fiasco, Blue, Elzai. Shout out Elzai from Detroit. Never met you. Never been to a concert. One day though.
Shout out Elzai.
If I like it, I'll listen to it. I mean, I was in the gym yesterday. I was rocking out to, I don't know if y'all remember this old school rock and roll group called Sum 41.
Sum 41?
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
No.
But anybody out there know, it was back during the Tony Hawk era.
Oh, yeah. I know
during that era, yeah.
though, but yeah.
I mean, I'll listen to that. Hey, then I might hurry up and transform into some Future. Yeah. Then I might bounce back into some more rock and roll. Then I might listen to some Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
So if you got a good melody to it, I would listen to it.
Yeah. It's also R&B too for me. It got to be R&B and I like rap. Not really a lot of like boom bap, old school, real flows, real lyrics. Eminem.
Yeah, you like real, yeah.
Flatbush Zombies,
lyrics.
Flatbush Zombies, yes. Hey, we was talking about Red Hot Chili Peppers last night. Yeah. It's funny we talking about this. But yeah, so.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, It's Only Natural. Go check that out, y'all.
By the way, if y'all know, y'all know.
Yeah. What about you?
I like Conscious, like you said. I definitely like Conscious.
Well, can I get your top 5 if you don't mind?
My top 5. I like what's his name? Philly. Black Thought.
You know what? Can I say this before I cut you? I'm sorry. I got a top 5. I've had a top 5 for years. Black Thought is the only reason why I had to extend it to 6 or 7.
Now, are you talking about as far as top 5 conscious rappers or just my?
He my top. When I say top 5. Okay, let's just do
people be sleeping on Black Thought.
Favorite rappers, Jay-Z, and I'm not saying these are the best. I feel like Jay-Z's the best, but I'm not saying like these are the most like skilled or lyrical. Just my favorite ones is Jay-Z, Jeezy.
I love when they collab, man.
Yeah. Jay-Z, Jeezy, Nas, obviously, Beans,
Benny Siegel.
Seagulls, yeah.
yeah, Beans, and let's see, who, and Nipsey.
Try.
I keep telling. Was that you? I was telling that he got some songs and you got to check it
Yeah,
out.
we were talking about
yeah,
Nipsey
we was
Hussle.
talking about
It
that.
is no particular order, but these just
No, I thought you was gonna say comment when I first asked you the
That's what I- yeah.
the questions. I don't know why you seem like you listen to comment.
Oh no. So we talking about just the conscious bag. I like Black Thought. I like Common. I like Cole. I like the old Quali.
Talent quality.
I heard he's a real mean person.
Really?
Hopefully that's not true, but I heard that. No, I'm sorry. It's consequences mean. I heard consequences mean.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I would you say Kanye? Would you say Ye a little conscious too?
Only when he's with certain people. When he's with
He got
somebody
that
like
conscious bag. If you think about it, he got that conscious
he,
bag.
he in more than one bag.
he made some song was most deaf that was conscious.
Yeah.
And the song I like that was conscious for me when he made one with Common called "The Food."
Food, yeah, on the Dave Chappelle show.
Dave Chappelle show, yeah.
Yeah.
He got some.
And he
But you
in a
didn't
lot of
name your
bags.
fifth one though. You was on 4. You didn't name your
I
fifth
think
one.
I say Pac and Nipsey, like,
No Kendrick Lamar.
forgot about him. I'm not okay. If we want to say as far as the best, he may be the far, but I'm just as far as my favorites.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he not my favorite, but he's definitely one of the best.
So out of all these rappers, who do you bump the most? Is it Jay-Z?
Jay, yeah. Jay. Reasonable Doubt.
Thank you. Black album too, but reasonable doubt is something about that.
And then aside, I like neo soul and like old school, and I like neo soul.
Erica Bad. Oh, we just uploaded a short today, and somebody said, "Dang, what did he say about Lauryn Hill?"
Talking about she only create one album every 10 years, something like that.
No, he said something about how Erica
She only
Badu
had
is
one
better
album.
than Lauryn Hill, and Mariah Carey is better than Lauryn Hill, and that's a good argument.
But the thing about it, he said that because Lauryn Hill don't create that much music.
True.
That's the situation at hand.
Yeah.
Because we had the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, which is a classic album, by the way.
That is a classic.
That's a classic album. But still, after that, then what?
yeah.
I can't remember the Fugees, but other than what she did with the Fugees.
That was
and
before it.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, the Fugees was before the
Didn't
Miseducation.
Didn't she have an album with no music or something like that?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You remember 50 Cent said she put out a CD that had no beats.
So it was all a cappella?
I believe I never bought it. I don't know. I wasn't buying CDs.
I had no idea about that one.
I gotta put 3 Stacks up there too.
Andre
That
3K?
guy's a goat.
Okay.
Man,
You know what? The only thing about that not to cut you off, the only thing about that conversation, we talk about 3 Stacks, but we forget Big Boy.
Yeah.
Nobody talk. Big Boy's cold too.
he good too.
Yeah.
Man, you know any 3 Stacks verses by heart?
By heart. That's what I'm saying. I have to hear the song. It's hard for me to just to,
'Cause that means
You gotta sing along with it.
you gotta sing along with it.
Check out his song. He got a song with Rick Ross called 16.
I heard that. That's a classic song.
I know what you're talking about.
Man, his
That's a
verse,
classic
I know
song.
it by heart, but yeah, let me hear it. I gotta hear it. That verse, I know it by heart, and that's when I first heard that, I was like, this dude is rapping.
Yeah, no, so what did it for me is T.I. had an album. I think it was called Paper Trail. Him
that
and
was
T.I. got a song. T.I. lyrics was crazy on that song. But when Andre 3000 got done rapping, I forgot T.I. was on the song.
What's the name of this song? T.I. and
It's called Sorry.
I know what you're. I was looking that up. It's called "Who I Say
Andre,
Sorry To."
He went crazy. Like he disrespected the man's song. Like he created a bridge, made his own hook. Like he just took the song.
He took that song to another level.
Listen to that song.
That used to be. Hey, I used to bump that all the time.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
And T.I. killed that song too.
check out his song to Life of the Party on Kanye album. Andre 3000, Kanye song called Life of the Party.
Life of the Party.
That whole little verse. I'm like, Andre, he makes story, like you said. He gonna do something in his own. He gonna create a realm on your song.
Yeah.
This is my
I like him on Deuce's remix
Deuces.
with Chris Brown.
Yeah, Chris Brown. I can't remember.
Very well from the female. He said, but I'm a player, but I don't tell you all the details. He was at the end. He was at the end part of the.
You know, one of his best verses though is International Players Anthem.
Oh yeah,
that one. That's a good one.
And when that dropped, and then because if you listen to Bun B, no, not Bun B. I want to say Bun B. He said he hated that verse because he's like, bro, you dropped out my beat. He's like, bro, the beat. But then it's like, no, man, he just rocking, and then the beat come in when he done.
The classic verse from 103K to me will always be Rosa Parks.
Oh yeah.
Rosa Parks.
Yeah. He got
Okay.
I still like that forever. And I was in.
So what? Let me ask y'all one more question.
What's up?
What about Detroit?
Artists.
Yeah.
Top 5 or
We just say we ain't gonna say top 5. We gonna say
favorite.
Okay, or your top 5 in no order.
You know, I want to say my favorite. About
favorite.
Number 1, you already know what I'm gonna say. It's gonna be Big Hurt.
Hurt.
I love Hurt, bro.
I'm telling you.
Oh, Jaw. Yeah.
What about?
No, your top 5.
I thought we just doing one. The top. We just doing the favorite one.
Oh, top 5.
Okay,
top 5.
one is gonna be Hurt. Another one's gonna be I gotta put Jesse James in there. I said I'm an old school dude. I love the old school Detroit rap.
Yeah.
I do like Peasy. Don't get me. And I like Big Sean.
Big Sean. Oh yeah.
He gonna laugh at me, but I'm gonna say Eminem
Why would I laugh at you?
because.
He on my list. Eminem is on.
But see, that's number 1 on your list. Eminem is not number 1 on my list.
Okay, I'm gonna say in no order. I had to write mine down because I know I'm gonna do Royce the 5'9", and this ever since the Book of Ryan till now.
I'll take that back. My
That
fifth one
book
is
of
Royce.
Ryan might have been Royce's coming. Yeah.
I don't know what I listened to him all my life, but Book of Ryan. Okay, I'm a fan now. I don't know what was created with that.
He told a story within that album. I felt like.
Yeah, and then in the algorithm, he followed up with that. I love that man. So he that's when I became a fan. I was like, I don't know what you're doing different, but I like you now.
I like him in that song Boom.
Oh yeah. He got a bunch of good ones. Elzai, of course, Elzai. That's my guy. I love man, bro. I've been trying to catch one of his shows, and every time I find out 2 or 3 days later, oh, he just had a show at the Marble Bar. I'm like, what? I didn't. I'm always missing it, but I got Royce the 5'9", Elzai, Black Milk. I love Black Milk. I hear he got a live band too. I love Eminem.
Yeah.
And lastly, Bizarre.
Bizarre.
Bruh, I love Bizarre.
Yeah.
What about you?
No particular order. Mike,
Okay.
Payroll, Royce. Let me see. Mike, Payroll, Royce. Let me see. Vezo and T Grizzly.
I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, Royce the 5'9", he performed at 313 Day at the Caesars Arena. I was just there for a basketball game. I didn't even realize it was 313 Day. He came out and performed Caterpillar.
Yeah.
That was nice. I had bad seats though. I was way up there, but I was like, that's Royce the 5'9".
Everybody we talked to. Actually, you know what? I can't even say he a rapper. I say Jay Dilla because he's a producer.
Dilla, yeah.
He's a producer.
Won't Do. Check out his song, Won't Do. He got a few good songs.
Yeah. Well, Jay Dilla, he's Detroit legend.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Got Bottin, all of them.
Everybody,
Piece of both of y'all.
y'all two answer your questions.
Yeah, we asked her.
Yeah.
All right. This is mine.
So grab another one.
Oh no, he's just gonna do his and we wrap.
No, we good. I thought you already.
Oh
did.
no, I didn't ask my question yet.
Yeah.
Mine said, "What advice would you give to someone going through a divorce?"
Oh man.
That's a tough one.
It depends. It's customized because it depends on if I liked his spouse. Or I'm assuming it's my homeboy getting divorced by.
He's going through a divorce.
I can read it again. I'll read it again so we all get a clear understanding on the question. What advice would you give to someone going through a divorce? So they already got divorced. Oh, well, they could be
going day in the process.
Could
still.
be, yeah.
Had them assets.
No, that's really it though. That's really it.
Just like that soccer player.
Yeah.
I just tell them you have no income. Some dudes will actually quit their job before the divorce proceedings just so the wife don't get nothing. They'll quit their job. It was a few dudes, they quit working at corporate America jobs, got a job at Burger King just so their wife wouldn't get nothing. I'm like, y'all wild for that.
I wouldn't do that. But
business.
I just wouldn't work nowhere.
Yeah. Hide the assets.
Yeah.
if I'm talking to him, you know, beside the financial part, I would tell him, look, just start over. It's gonna be hard, but you gotta, you know, chalk it up. You know, life to life. You know what I mean? I know you're going through it, but you gotta start over.
Yeah.
Or just say, didn't you sign a prenup?
I mean, you can say that, and financially, I would have told him, I hope you had a plan before all this happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's not that every woman would do it. It's the fact that they could do it.
Can I say something though? Men marry for love. Most women don't marry for love, and that's why I ain't gonna say that's why we don't consider a prenup, but we want to be with you, and most women, they just want to place themselves in certain positions. I can't really word what I'm trying to say.
I got to shout out to Coach Greg Adams, CGA for life. He said, men are in love, women are in business.
Pretty much what I'm trying to say, but better.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with it, definitely. I'm not going to say. I mean, you really got to take your time when you really want to choose the one for you. You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely agree with what you said, but it's always one, you know what I'm saying, that God have, you know what I mean? I think everybody got one that they feel like they let kind of get away. You know, it might have been you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but to answer your question, I definitely agree with you. I mean, it's an ugly truth, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's the truth.
That kind of took the air out the room with that question. I ain't gonna lie. I think we all good on that
Yeah,
question.
we
right?
all good on that. We should have let you ask your question first, man.
Yeah, that did take the air out the room with that one. That was. Can I pick another question? Because I don't like how they ended. Yeah, let me pick one more question. Because I don't like. I really don't like. The energy was high and mighty, and all of a sudden,
Talk about rappers.
I was trying to give you a little optimism.
Man,
I'm
let me. I gotta redeem that one. Now we gotta rekindle life. Okay, great question. What makes a good leader?
Ooh.
That's a fire right there. Okay, what makes a good leader?
Headstrong. You gotta be patient to make decisions. Don't be hasty with your decisions. I don't know. It's a bunch of stuff.
I feel like a good leader is a person who know how to play the role of the soldier. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we all on the same team, right, and I'm your leader, I have to do what's necessary. I might have to play the background to do what's necessary to propel you to, you know what I'm saying, make sure you get the most light in whatever you doing. You know what I'm saying? Even though this is mine per se, but I still gotta, you know what I mean? I think that, and I think a good leader is someone who thinks about their team more so than them. You know what I mean? Like, how can I say this? If I give you a product, to sell or something like that, I gotta think about your well-being and your quality of living, and you being able to make money as well as me, versus I'm the only one making money, and then you know what I mean?
He's a team player. He's not just somebody who's high and mighty on his high horse.
Exactly. Yes, I think that's what makes a good leader.
I also say you should be able to delegate and see far into the future with every decision. Somebody could come to you with some BS, and if you just react to that, you fell into their trap. But if you seeing beyond, man, it's a little trouble, dude, or you just gotta think and see stuff deep.
Yeah,
I would say for me, I agree. I like your answer.
Yeah, me too.
But also, I would also add to this: a good leader know how to read the room.
Yeah,
he would definitely know how to read the room. He would know how to, especially when he's around his people.
I like that. Knowing how to read the room. Yeah,
he knows how to fall back when necessary, because a lot of leaders think they're too alpha and think they can alpha their way out of a bad situation. But sometimes you just got to be like, no, this ain't the right time. Yeah, let's go back. Let's regroup and come up with a plan. Mm-hmm. That's why I like watching. Like, one of my favorite movies of all time is The Godfather. I'm pretty sure we know that hit that was taken out on the Vito Corleone. Yeah. And now people, what they would do, they would react. They'll go riding out looking for people. Yeah. But in that situation, they were sitting by the table eating spaghetti and shit, figuring out a plan.
You got to be reserved. You
Yeah.
can't be reactive. Be reserved and be
Can't be emotional.
calculated,
Exactly.
tactical.
And that's
Move
exactly
off
what I mean.
emotion.
Yeah, you can't just be
To a degree,
rah.
and I hate to say this, the best leaders are not alpha males, they are sigma males. Research sigma males, and you're going to see what I mean. Not saying alphas are bad, but alphas, I would delegate them to be the generals.
Yeah.
And then the leader has to be sigma because your mind is just different.
No,
I'm not going to say sigma's better than y'all the same, but y'all different people.
You definitely got to be a 3-dimensional thinker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You definitely got to be on you,
You kind of got to get out of your own way a little bit.
yeah.
which is a hard thing for people to
Hard
do.
to do. Yeah.
Swallow that pride and that ego. That's tough to do. Fall on your sword.
Yeah, so you got any more questions?
I don't got no more questions, man. It's definitely good having you on the show.
We
Yeah,
we thank
man,
you.
for sure. It was a pleasure.
One more time, could you tell the people how to get in contact with you?
C Bartell Real Estate is my Instagram. Carlos Bartell is my Facebook. You can email me. I got phone information on there, and that's how you do it.
We'll do. We want to thank you again for being on the show. Come on, guys, let's give him a hand clap. Thank you so much, Carlos. It's all love. It's all respect. Hey, of course, for myself, hey, go check out my channel, Adrian AKAD on TikTok. Make sure y'all go check it out today. I got a new video out there. People, toxic friends. When you're around a toxic friend, that's the name of the video.
Okay. That should be a good one.
Yeah, definitely go check it out.
And I'm Stubbs. Keep checking us out on all the platforms. The Takeoff podcast. It's spelled different, but we got a link tree. Just go to our link tree. You'll find us everywhere.
And also, please look out for his new single. He ain't recorded yet, but it's soon to be new single called "Wine with the Lime."
Possibly I'm gonna let him get a verse if I make the song.
I will hop on the hook, bro.
I'm curious to see how you rap.
Bro, I will hop on the hook.
The hook? Okay.
I will hop on the hook. I'm gonna leave all the.
I might write it up for real, bro.
Do it.
All right.
Please do it. Hey,
People don't think I can rap, bro.
Hey, I'm telling you, hey, Wine with the Lime is coming soon. I'm gonna make sure he does the song.
All right.
So-
Peace. No.
No, but hey, of course, we'd like to thank our special guest, Carlos Bartell, for being on the show.
Anytime, y'all. Have some claps.
And you know me, I'm your boy Adrian AKD.
I'm Stubbs.
And we out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.